Labour have attacked UK farmers and it's caused outrage. Yesterday there was mass protests across the city of London, across the country, farmers coming together to share their voice. They were joined by people like Jeremy Clarkson from obviously the hit show Clarkson's Farm. They were also joined by the Reform UK leader, Nigel Farage, and there's been a lot of commentary, a lot of people talking about what is going on here. Why have Labour done this? Why are they attacking the farmers? This video is going to break down everything that's happened. I'm going to share my commentary of what's happened, what people are saying, and what we can potentially do to move forward. This needs a conversation. Labour's been in power now for a number of months, and since then, their policies of change. That's what, if you remember their slogan, change, change, change. Everything that we've seen has been change for, it appears, the worst. People are outraged. The recent UK budget, the first of Labour's for 14 years, they announced 40 billion of increases in taxes. One of them was the farmers' inheritance tax. So let's dig deeper into all this. What is actually going on? I'm going to share literally the Instagram post that Labour has also, in response to this, have posted, and people are talking underneath, and it's a great conversation to have with you. Get in the comments down below. Where do you stand in all this? The autumn budget was anticipated. What is Labour going to do? And it's caused outrage across the industries, from businesses to UK farmers, and everything is about change and supporting of the infrastructure of the NHS, for example. This is where the issues now lie. This is where the arguments now come in. Should UK farmers be paying to save the NHS? Should Labour be saying, we need to raise this money so we can pump more money into the NHS? Does money solve the problems? Or is it going to be the same thing? As Charles Darwin once said, the definition of insanity, taking the same actions and expecting different results. So is money the answer? The answer is, for me, no. We need to truly look at what is going on here, and it's caused outrage. And this is what Labour said. The truth about Labour's budget and farmers. So there's outrage, and Labour are standing their ground. This was literally published only 18 hours ago. The change announced in the budget will not impact the majority of farmers. Well, there was a speech done by Jeremy Clarkson, and he said, who's this affecting? And everybody put their hand up. Estates worth up to 3 million, completely free of inheritance tax. Where inheritance tax does apply, farmers will still pay 50% less inheritance tax than anyone else. Heirs can spread the payment over 10 years interest-free instead of having to pay it all at once. Well, thanks. You still got this to pay, but it's over 10 years. Oh, we're going to do it interest-free. The policy is about protecting smaller family farms while ensuring the wealthiest landowners pay their fair share. Our public services need fixing, and the wealthiest should be the ones that bear the greatest burden so that we can do that. Farmers will benefit from 5 billion being invested into farming over the next 2 years, the largest amount ever directed towards sustainable food production in our country's history. So Labour are not backing down here. They are standing their ground. And this is what Jeremy Clarkson has been quoted to literally say, I beg the government to be big, to accept that this was rushed through and it's a mistake. Admit it and back down. UK farmers are a group of foundational of our country that many of us potentially don't even think about when we go to kind of supermarkets. We pick up our food for our families, our loved ones. We eat food every day to live. And there's families around the country, around the countrysides. They're working in incredibly harsh conditions, cold winters, right? Hot summers. They are physically working hard, day in and day out. Early mornings, when many of us are maybe sleeping, you've got these unsung heroes that are out trying to feed us, trying to create the food that we end up ultimately enjoying with our families and our loved ones. For me, these heroes fundamentally need to be protected because farmers allow us to have the food that we need, the hard work that's required. And there's generation after generation of families that have owned farms, that have paid their taxes. They are working all year for very little. All you have to do is look at Clarkson's farm and see how much money is involved in investment. And then at the end of it, it's only a very small proportion that is actually profit. Some maybe don't even make a profit. Some maybe even are losing money. When you do get to the end of your retirement, when you do get to the end of your life, and then you go to pass on the assets, the land, everything that you've worked for, potentially parents have worked for, grandparents have worked for, great-grandparents have worked for. Some of these families are over 300 years of inheritance. You're then going to lose 20% of the estate. You're then going to have to pay 20% inheritance tax. Is that right? After paying taxes throughout all the years, paying your due, everything that farmers have to do, everything that we have to do, and then at the end of your life, when you want to pass something on to your children, to pass on, this is our family's heritage, the government are then going to be in there trying to take their slice. Everywhere you look, there's taxes across the board. Taxes from businesses to individuals to farmers to what you spend, what you, whether you're making money, whether you're not making money. National insurance, right? National insurance is supposed to be from a point of view to generate funds for like the NHS. So should the NHS be so inefficient, so in demand of all these resources, so they're now going out to other parts of our society and going, you must fund us, you must fund us. Farmers fund us, businesses fund us, people fund us. And it's turned into this absorbing, all-absorbing machine where money is just not the answer. True reform is the answer. Just to be perfectly clear, I absolutely love the fact that we've got the NHS. I absolutely love all the amazing work that they've personally done for my family, and I'm sure for your family. When we've had family members in need, the NHS was there. Whether it's dentists, NHS dentists, we're so grateful for that. If you have a medical emergency, to be able to call for support and an ambulance arrives, we're so grateful for that. But isn't it okay to have a conversation? How systemized is the NHS? How efficient is the NHS? There's an argument to be had. There's a conversation to be had. When you compare the public sector to the private sector live and die by the results. If you are owning a private company and you're not profitable and you're not making money and you run out of money, then you go out of business. If the public sector is not making money or not being efficient, they just essentially take more money. So it's like this never-ending, unable to lose. Ultimately, they'll just take more money from more people. And what's the projection of that? The public sector completely balloons, and more and more and more, and public sector end up fighting for pay rises, and then the government accepts it, and then they need more money, there's another black hole, and then we'll go farmers, okay, we'll take money from them. People's businesses, we'll take money from them. And it balloons and it balloons and balloons to the point where what's going to happen is there's going to be a disaster. So many people are going to make their voices heard more and more and more. We need to tackle the real answers here. The real answers. What do we truly need to do to move forward in the most positive way? I believe it needs major reform. I believe a party like the Reform UK, community, family, country, we need to be looking after our UK citizens. We need to be making sure that we have our house in order before we start telling other people to get your houses on order. We've got people out on the streets. We've got pensioners that are losing winter fuel allowance. We have a never-ending issue, social issue after social issue. We're then still wanting to support so many people, spend billions upon billions in wars around the world when we've got people struggling here. What if the farmers decided to go, enough is enough? We're done. What's going to happen with the food shortages? It's going to impact every single one of us. We're going back. We're going back. We should be going forward. So comment down below. Let me know where you are with all this. I am absolutely 100% on the side of the farmers. Just to be perfectly clear, everything that's been said from Jeremy Clarkson to Nigel Farage to the farmers that have been on news outlets sharing with them their proud heritage, their proud work ethic, wanting to do what's best. I'd love to know your thoughts. Comment down below, let me know. This has just been commentary. My name's Kev. Hit the subscribe button, share this video as far and wide as you possibly can. I'd love to know where you're at with this. Comment down below, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.